which is the best premium golf ball on the market? Today I'm joined by NCG podcast host Tom Irwin to find out. So over the past month I've spent hours and hours and hours hitting all the balls from all the top brands, and of the 17 premium balls you can buy, I've narrowed it down to the top 4 to let Tom hit them and see what he thinks. So let's get into it. So what I've done is I've narrowed it down. So if we're going to kick things off with like the premium golf ball category, these are the 4 that performed the best for me in test.
Okay.
So we've got the Titleist Pro V1, the Bridgestone Tour B XS, which is Tiger's ball, the TaylorMade TP5, and the Callaway Chrome Tour X. So we're going to start off around the green, so you can get a feel for like the feel off the wedge, the spin, the flight and stuff, and just you hit some shots and let's get your feedback.
Okay, so we're starting with Pro V1, are we?
We're starting with Pro V1, so this is the 25th year of Pro V1.
Yes.
So this is really exciting. This is the best ball they've ever made, definitely. There's stories going around sort of that tour players are having to fiddle around with their sort of iron setups because they gain speed. There's definite distance gain with this ball compared to the previous Pro V1, but it still performs and spins loads around the greens like you'd expect.
The first thing I always think, which maybe people think this is weird, is I do think golf balls look different.
Yes.
So using a Titleist, which most of us grew up using, a Titleist ball, premium Titleist ball, I think it is very familiar, isn't it? Everything about it, you kind of there's a comfort to it, basically. The sound off these is lovely, isn't it?
Really good, isn't it? Really good. Yeah. So like the Pro V1X sounds slightly different. Nice.
The Pro V1X is kind of clickier, isn't it?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Whereas these, I think,
it's more neutral.
Yeah. And there is a kind of quite a soft feel to them, would you say?
Yeah. I agree with that as well.
This is sort of what I'd expect from a Titleist. It's like a lovely sound.
Yep.
It's looking very, very, feeling very, very nice off the face, even when I thin it a bit. I'll hold it.
Can do, love that. So one of the things I found with this ball was I sort of felt like the wedge grooves were like biting the urethane cover.
Yeah, it does.
It's grippy, isn't it?
It feels like ballartery, like very, very soft.
Yeah, very grippy on the wedge shots. Strike.
So what else you got?
Right, Bridgestone. So this is a ball you've not used, but this is in fact Tiger's ball.
So I mean, I don't know whether this is just me, but I suppose it's our review, isn't it? So I'm going to have to tell you what I think rather.
Yeah, just tell me what you think, that's what we're here for.
The B is just very off-putting for me. I mean, it's also a tyre company, isn't it? And it's just quite distracting. I'm just thinking about whether my tyres need changing.
So I think for first impression, how I would describe it is it doesn't look like a spinny, like urethane covered tour ball, is my first impression.
What makes you say that?
Well, I don't think it
hasn't grabbed anywhere near as much.
I don't think it shines. I just don't think the reflection of light off the ball looks the same as I have sort of grown accustomed to in the Pro V, the TP5 or the Callaway. But what I can tell you about this ball is on my 50-yard wedge shots that I've hit, this is by far the spinniest ball.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like
that one sat down a lot more, didn't it?
By far the most spin, like by at least 200 or 300 RPM, which is an awful lot to say how many balls I've hit.
What's this thing?
So that is their new like mindset.
Oh, this is mostly me imagining circles of the ball going down the hole.
Correct, yeah. So it's for like pre-shot routine. So like how they recommend you do is you line that up when you're putting, so that you can sort of then switch into your mental routine before you execute it.
Now I'm getting round to it.
Yeah, you like that?
Well, I used to have a visual thing, which was a ball going down a plug hole like that. I think it does sound a bit clickier to me than that Pro V1.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel quite. You said it's the most spinny. It doesn't feel quite like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And
I think it does have a slightly firmer cover than a Pro V1.
Yeah.
But on longer shots, like the 50-yard shot, it didn't feel spinny, but the numbers on the launch monitor were like higher than I'd ever seen. Well, let's move on then to a ball that you know very well, the TaylorMade TP5.
So that's the ball I'm playing at the moment.
Yeah.
A little surprise for us in a minute.
Okay, that's exciting.
So I think the starting point for these TaylorMade golf balls is what TaylorMade are doing at the moment. Is I think they are making way more grown-up product. And the golf ball looks grown up to me. Like it's not busy. The font is really simple. The TaylorMade branding is like not in your face. Everything about it is just sort of pretty clean. And when you're comparing premium golf balls, a lot of the characteristics are similar, right?
Yes.
So what it looks like, I know it sounds stupid because it's a golf ball, but what it looks like sort of matters.
Yeah.
And I think, again, the dimple pattern on there, it looks quite pronounced.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it just looks like something that's going to help me. You know, sometimes you get an old golf ball and the dimples are they're not as deep.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think, well, that's just not going to go in the air. I look at that and think, well, that looks like something that's going to fly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, lovely. That was nice.
Yeah.
Softer and spinnier.
Yeah.
So that made the great sound, didn't it? You know, and sound's such an important part of like you feel around the greens.
And McIlroy has switched into the spinnier ball.
It's a spinnier ball, yeah.
So what does that tell us?
Well, more control into, you know, historically could be criticised for his wedge play and his short iron play.
It probably tells us that you're not struggling for distance with a spinny ball either. So if you're saying what's the compromise,
Yeah.
you would expect him to be definitely in the least spinny ball, wouldn't you? Because he wants to control his spin.
Yeah, yeah. But I think one of the things you have to remember is, like, off the driver, they're both low spinning balls.
That's better.
Yeah.
So that has grabbed like the Pro V1
That
did.
was grabbing, yeah, that was a grabby one.
It's hard to find fault with this golf ball.
I agree 100%. And actually, this ball has their new core, the speed wrapped core.
Yeah.
Which is what's given McIlroy the more distance, and I think is what has allowed him to drop down into the spinnier ball.
Yeah.
Because it's going further. Right, finally, the Callaway Chrome Tour X. I like this a lot. I always, when the Chrome Tour ball originally came out a few years ago, I sort of found it to be way too soft. Like,
Okay.
It felt like chewing gum sort of off the wedge.
Right.
And the putter, which I sort of really didn't like. And then from there, I would have said that I probably just steered clear because of that one experience.
Yeah.
But then this is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, really good. Again, performance for me on the wedge was really, really high.
And I do like the Callaway V.
Yep.
I'm not sure about the red and black. I say that as a Man U fan. But again, it's sort of a very personal thing that I'm looking for something that's really clean.
Okay. So you like the TP5 because it's all black?
Yeah, yeah. And I think the ball I've used from Callaway before, I've always felt it was quite clicky. And actually,
Yeah.
the short stuff, I found that it was like quite a long golf ball.
Yeah.
But didn't really enjoy it with putting particularly. But you're saying this is softer.
Yeah.
It's not, look, it's really, really not soft if you knife it.
If you knife it. Lovely strike.
So what are we saying then? Like, when you've got such a vast array of stuff,
Yeah.
like it's confusing enough between Pro V1 and Pro V1X or TP5 and TP5X.
Yeah.
So if I'm going into my pro shop to ask for a Chrome Tour golf ball, please,
Yeah.
what should I be asking for?
Well, the first question I think is like, how bothered are you by spin around the greens?
Yeah.
So like, if someone came to me and said, right, what ball shall I play?
Yeah.
You can basically say, right, pick a brand. Just tell me what your favourite brand is, because all brands have every ball for every sort of player. And then it's a question of, right, well, how much do you care about spin on short game shots? Because then that will then separate you from urethane cover to whatever the other cover is made of. And then from there, you're narrowing down based on your ball flight characteristics.
Yeah.
So do you need more height? Do you need more spin? Do you need a lower flight? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's quite a confusing market.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Because there's an awful lot. There's very small differences between each ball. But like the best thing to do would be to get on a launch monitor, preferably indoors.
Yeah.
And hit some mid irons and drivers.
So I think the sort of simplicity of this one spins more, this one spins less message is a good place to start.
Yes.
But you have to go and hit a few, don't you?
100%.
And see how it performs off your long stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Right, let's move on to some mid-iron shots. Starting with the Pro V1.
Yeah. So what do you think I should be looking for when I am selecting a ball when I'm hitting my mid-iron? So you've hit literally 1,000 golf balls with your 7-iron.
So things I'm looking for: ball speed,
Yeah.
and spin,
Yeah.
and then descent angle are the three main things with the 7-iron or mid-iron. So obviously as well, we want carrying distance. So I'm fairly attuned now to like what my ball speed should be off a 7-iron. And then based on how much that spins, I know that a perfect ball for me goes like 165.
And we're going to look at the data at the end of this video, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll go sit down and go through the data.
What ball speed are you generating with 7-iron?
So with the top premium balls, I'm looking at about anywhere between 117 to 119.
Okay.
And then we're hoping for about 6 to 7,000 RPM of backspin.
That was good. That looks like a very good flight to me. So what was that spinning at?
So that one was 5,600.
Right.
Not bad. Your ball speed there is 109.
Okay. So we often get comments saying, why don't you use some slower swinging golfers?
Yeah.
But it is worth saying that I am 48 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm swinging it astronomically quick for a 48-year-old.
No, not at all.
At 80 miles an hour.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, for reference, like a tour player 7.9 club head speed is like 90.
Yeah.
So you're at 78, which I think is pretty normal.
So I'm just going to try and see what happens if I do swing it a bit quicker.
Yep.
Whether the spin
jumps up.
Yeah. I've been trying to swing it a bit quicker in practice.
Those were nice chippy swings, weren't they?
Yeah, because I really wanted it out of the middle on camera.
There you go. Club speed 84.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And what's the spin done?
6.3, so still really stable.
Yeah.
It has gone up slightly, but only 100 to 200 RPM.
That's quite interesting because it's gone up it's 6 miles an hour more club head speed.
Yeah.
And it's
big jump in ball speed to 113.
Yeah.
Peak height's up to 90, so that's pretty good. And you like the feel of that?
I do, yeah. It
sounds okay.
I have to say the sound was a bit
different.
There was more sound to it than I was expecting.
That's because as you compress the ball more, you're reaching the different layers of the ball.
Yeah.
So it sort of will change throughout the whole bag, really.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good.
Okay.
Let's move on. On to my favourite Bridgestone.
So I mean, the first thing I'm going to say is that over there I was talking about the fussy bee and the visualization logo thing.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't bother me here.
Really?
Yeah. It's literally just a chipping thing.
You think that's like some demons in there?
I just think that, yeah, exactly. You want to declutter, don't you?
Fair enough. How did that feel? First shot?
That felt really good.
Did it?
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah. Decent numbers. 6.1 spin.
Sounded nice.
109 ball speed. I like that sound. 109 again. What's the strike like?
That was a bit heavy in comparison to the first one. We expect that to be spinning less.
6,000.
Which is basically bang on, isn't it?
Yeah. Now Bridgestone again, they've got an enormous, in the Bridgestone range there's 8 golf balls.
Yeah.
So they've got a ball literally for everybody and everybody's then brother. So
I really like that actually.
Yeah. So I found when I was hitting this one, I just love how much it spins.
It looks like it feels soft off the face, and it looks like it's climbing a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like that to play with in the wind, but it looks pretty out here.
Yeah.
So if I swing this at 85, I'd expect this to be spinning at more 7.
Swing. That's class, isn't it? Sounds amazing.
Yeah. That's
sounds
high
brilliant. 115 ball speed. Well done. 6.2 again. 100 feet in the air.
Off what speed? 182 or something?
83. So that is absolutely perfect height for that 7-iron.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Right in the middle of your club speed and ball speed. Just brilliant. All right.
So I think that is an interesting comparison, because I would say that is visibly going higher.
Yep.
Off similar swing speeds to what we saw in the
Absolutely.
previous ball.
Yeah, 100%. It's probably about 10 feet.
And I think there is a little bit of feel difference off the face. It does feel a little tiny bit softer.
And definitely sounds different.
Yeah, that's a bit of an eye-opener for me.
Yeah. Bridgestone do have their own dimple pattern.
Okay.
It's quite distinct, which helps it through the air differently.
Right, so this is TP5.
Yep.
And just to sort of reiterate what we said with the chips, it's the opposite of TaylorMade, so this is the softer ball.
Yes.
This is should be the spinnier one.
The spinnier ball.
So I guess we ought to be seeing sort of similar things to that.
I think we should see. Yeah, correct. I think sort of low 6s would be a good result.
That to me, the noise and how it feels off the face is between the Pro V1 and the Bridgestone. It's kind of
in the middle.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So that was the highest spinning shot you've hit so far.
Was it?
6,500.
Right.
which give you a bit more height and a steeper angle of descent. So like that's really going to stop on the greens.
Bit clean.
So one of the other things you might think about when you're trying to choose a golf ball is like where you play your golf.
Well, 100%, because
so like here at Woodley, you might play a lot of your shots into the greens, sort of like on the ground.
Well, because it's often windy.
Yeah.
That's what you sort of, I think that is a problem, full stop, is that optimal characteristics are often optimal for Florida.
Yeah.
On a still day.
100%, yeah, I agree.
So I think that is a consideration with all golf equipment, is where do you play your golf, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were kind of like, I guess, stock swings, so I try and hit this a bit harder.
Well, what we've seen so far is the spin hasn't jumped up, has it? No. Particularly when you've tried to hit it a bit harder. Nice, love that. Like the sound of that. Fastest ball speed yet. This is the hottest ball you've had by miles. I guess 117 ball speed there for efficiency from club to ball.
Yeah.
Definitely the hottest ball.
And if you sort of then balancing that up with what it was like to chip with, it feels like quite a good.
Oh, absolutely. You're definitely going from, you want the softest, spinniest thing over there, and then actually you want the most efficient, longest thing over here. So then when we get to driver, we want as low a spin as possible, but fastest possible ball speed. But that was that TaylorMade's worked really nicely for you there.
I'm quite enjoying this process. I'm not sure I've ever done this before.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. So this is the Callaway Chrome Tour X.
Correct.
And Titleist have really messed this up for everybody because they changed their X's round. But you're saying that this is actually spinnier,
yes,
but feels firmer.
Correct. That's exactly what this is going to do.
Right. So that should sort of suit me, shouldn't it? Because I do think I need a bit more spin.
Yep.
Not sure about the feels firmer bit, but
different sound again. I hope the camera picks that up.
Bit matty, perhaps.
I'm sure it won't. Okay, 78 speed, 109 ball, 6,500 spin.
So that has spun a lot.
We're loving that, yeah, we're loving that.
We're loving that, are we?
Yeah.
But presumably there are some downsides to spin, because then if I'm getting the face shut.
Well, so the downside to spin is distance.
Yeah.
So like if you were spinning it at 9,000, for example, it just wouldn't go anywhere. But again, I think spin is your friend because you need the ball to spin to get it to stop. All you do is play at firm, bouncy golf courses. And also you can take spin off by going up a club and chipping it.
But what if I've turned one over and it's a right to left wind and it's spinning, is it not going further left?
Well, maybe, but not necessarily. I think like what we talked about around the short game area is like, I don't think the balls are affected by crosswinds as much as they were. I think that's just you being old.
Definitely that. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Love that. That sounded great. That was a chippy swing. 112 ball off a 78 club. Again, that's a good transfer of energy. 7,000 RPM of spin.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a lot, isn't it?
That's class. And that is perfect for you. That is absolutely perfect for your iron build. That was absolutely spot on. Right. Let's get your driver out. And let's put the ball speed to the test now. Important numbers here for you are ball speed, spin, carry. Those are the big three we're looking for here.
And what optimal spin?
So it generally between like 2,100 and 2,500.
Okay.
For you.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I am worried about is that we've only got a few golf balls left, and I've got to get at least 3 or 4 usable shots.
I would like you to just do your thing, Tom.
And they're going to end up in Leeds Grammar School.
If you really, hopefully, that would be a good outcome.
Right then, so we're looking at probably going to be about, I would think we're probably going to be at about 108 here.
Okay, I'll take that.
Oh, that's a good start.
Cracking.
105.
If there's one thing for sure, Tom, is you know yourself very well.
Is that what it was?
105.
Yeah.
155 ball. Yeah. Good. Spin 2.6. Top end.
Yeah.
255 carry.
Yeah, slightly bottom me, wasn't it?
Not bad start though. Oh, that sounded good.
That was out of the middle.
Flatter. Ball club speed 108. Ball speed 161.
Yeah.
It's more like it. Spin 2000,
Yeah.
carry 265.
So that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a long way on a golf course.
Yes, that's a massive hit around the firm fairways of Alwoodley.
No spins. It's basically enough carry to get it over the bunker on the third and then chase up about another 40. That was fast and out the top.
You went for it.
Yeah.
108 club, 160 ball, 2-2 spin,
Yeah.
265 carry.
Okay.
Happy with that. We can leave that there.
So we're going to hit the Bridgestone now. So what we've learned about the Bridgestone is it's spinning a lot.
Yes.
So we might find that.
Well, this is where I'm hoping you're going to be surprised, Tom.
Okay.
And that the Bridgestone tech and the dimple,
Yeah.
the tech's in the dimple, is going to bring this down. It's not going to spin much in my dream world. Okay. Sounded okay. Strike-wise.
Yeah.
Too spinny. Interesting. High spin there.
What was that?
3,500.
Yeah. So I mean that I would say that is not dissimilar to that bottomy one I hit with the TaylorMade ball.
Yeah.
I feel like it span more.
Titleist.
Yeah, Titleist ball. I feel like it span more.
Okay.
Oh,
Good
it's
hit.
out of the middle.
That's the baby.
Wowzers.
That's like our fairest test, I think.
That's gone up. That's definitely spinning more. You can see it's landed soft as well.
2.6.
Yeah.
2.6 spin. So definitely down on speed there.
Yeah.
So club speed not quite as high,
Yeah.
but ball speed definitely down.
Yeah.
Spinning 2.6, which is higher, so therefore not carrying as far. But decent. That was like as good a strike as you could have done.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So probably a fair. I think that's a pretty fair comparison.
Yeah. So this is my gamer.
Yep.
Have enjoyed it to play, to drive with. Like I said before, it feels very stable in the wind.
So this was really hot for you, wasn't it, with the 7 iron?
Yeah.
So let's see if that continues. Pretty good. Higher,
Yeah.
definitely. We're at 155 ball speed, 2,400 spin
Right.
for a carry of 256.
Okay.
Good hit. Well, there you go. 107.
Yeah. Spinning quite a bit.
You think that was spinnier? 2.4,
Yeah.
263, a 159 ball. That's pretty good. Those are pretty fair shots, aren't they?
Yeah. So
I would have said.
Yeah. So it's sort of a little bit more spin and losing a bit of ball speed.
Yeah, good ball.
Brilliant. I think it's the performance characteristics. I think are great. Yeah. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be pretty hot. And what are you saying? This
Yeah,
was-
so when I was in testing, so my driver ball speed is generally around 160, and this ball was pretty very consistently 161, 162,
Okay.
which I like, obviously.
Yeah.
And this again, it gave me masses of spin around the green, so I could use this.
Oh, hello.
Oh, kick us off with a good one. 157 ball, 105 club. Hold on. Yeah, 2.6 spin. So top end, but nice flight that. 1.51 smash. Oh, we like that ball, don't we?
Bottomy.
I just can't tell off that driver, can you?
No, but it was. So presumably spinning a bit. Quite quick.
2,100 spin.
Quite a quick swing.
105, 156 ball, 255 carry,
Right, it was about me, innit?
which is about you.
Seems
That's
to
a
be.
very Tom Irwin swing, to be fair.
Yeah. So that is not spinning any more than the others, is it?
No, not at all.
No.
Again, sort of somewhere between 2.1 and 2.6 is
Yeah.
your sweet spot. The ball speed, we didn't quite get to a 160
Yeah.
with that ball, but your carry distance is about right at 260 as well. Right, should we go have a look at the numbers?
Yes, let's go and have a look at the numbers. So now we're doing like a little
Summary.
kind of summary thing where we're looking at the data and we're going to kind of sort of make a decision.
Yep.
How are we going to make a decision?
Well, it's a tough one, that, isn't it? Because I sort of think, in typical fashion, there's not really one answer, I don't think. Now, the interesting thing with the 7-iron data was you've got 2 swings. Well, we did try to do as many soft swings as we did hard swings,
Yeah.
so that it should be fairly fair.
Well, I think the kind of biggest eye-opener was the Bridgestone, because I think that was definitely spinning more.
Yep.
And therefore, off that mat, on that range, on this lovely still sunny day, it had a very sort of pleasing flight to it. It was more what you'd sort of expect, I guess, from a mid-iron when you see people hit a mid-iron on the TV. And that was nice to see, and it was nice to sort of know you can produce those numbers.
Yeah.
And we were hitting off a mat, which is obviously going to make the ball spin a little bit more. So then I guess that my concern is spin is not always your friend for the kind of playing in the wind, and does it exaggerate your poor shots? And actually, do I like seeing a sort of slightly more mid-flight and the ball going sort of forwards? Maybe I do. So I think that is just down to personal preference, really. So
the longest ball that you hit today was the TP5
with driver,
with 7-iron.
Oh, with 7-iron.
So just sticking on mid irons.
Yeah, so I think that it is also worth saying that whilst we were sort of messing around with slow stock swings and faster swings, I think I was able to produce sort of pretty consistent sort of high 70s for my stock swing.
Yep.
And therefore we were sort of comparing apples with apples broadly.
Yep.
So it was interesting to see that ball speed jump up off with that particular ball.
Yeah, and let's not forget that in terms of spin, like with the Chrome Tour X, you hit one that was 7,000, didn't you?
Yeah.
And that sounded really good as well.
It did, yeah.
But it's not gone as far.
Yeah.
Because the spin also was quite high.
Yeah.
The Pro V1 was like remarkably consistent. So you weren't quite, you were just at 6,000, but there was quite a lot of shots in the high fives,
right? Which,
in my opinion, is probably a fractionally too low.
Yeah.
But like it was very, very consistent, and it didn't drop super low.
Yeah, and that would be kind of consistent with when I've been fitted into a Titleist ball. They've suggested the X, to get a little bit more spin out.
Yeah, sure. So maybe that's just not the right one for you. But interesting. I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Because the numbers are very, very similar.
Yeah. I mean, we said that throughout this whole thing, haven't we? That in the premium golf ball market, you are sort of splitting hairs.
Yeah.
Which is why I think you kind of tend to end up talking about and thinking about things like the colour and what is printed on the golf ball.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now, with the driver, probably slightly some more difference, really. So your two best ball speeds were with the Pro V1.
Yeah.
Which both were above 160 with spin at sub 2.2, which is like really, really good. The Bridgestone, you just spun way too much, which is a shame. But the TP5 was also a like mega high performer for you as well.
Yeah. So I think the sort of ball speed with driver thing is interesting, isn't it? Because whilst we have acknowledged and talked a lot about short game feel today, and that is a massive part of choosing a golf ball, I think, for someone of a low handicap who's not struggling for ball speed necessarily.
Yeah.
But if you are someone who's struggling for ball speed, and when we go and get fit for anything, what's the first thing you look for is how far is it going?
Yeah.
And you said yourself that you thought that Titleist ball was really hot, and that's the experience of some tour players.
Yep.
And it just goes back to this point that Titleist are saying that if you can afford it, then the Pro V1 is the ball you should choose. Like, it is their optimal performance in every category. There's no compromise to it.
Yep.
And distance is a big thing for so many people. Like, most people watching this video are going to be handicapped golfers who would think, yes, I would like some more ball speed, please. I'll take that one.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I think it's obviously not a massive variable, but it is a variable in that ball's favour, and I think that would tip the balance for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I thought all of them actually were remarkably good around the greens. But they were I thought the TaylorMade and the Titleist were probably the more responsive.
Yeah.
You could kind of see they were trying to grab a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Bridgestone has, I know it's the spinny ball, but I think the cover on it almost feels like it's sliding up the face as opposed to biting the face, if that sort of makes any sense.
Yeah.
The Pro V1's the Pro V1, isn't it? It's basically the standard for premium ball. Like, all balls are compared against. So, but the TP5 is also just epic. Feels really spinny, feels really soft, and is nice to chip and putt with. Yeah.
And the TP5 is what I'm playing. I'm playing a TP5 clear stripe.
Yeah.
And I think I said earlier on, I have played most of those premium balls at one point or another over the last year. And I've been kind of anti colourful golf balls because of that busyness, but that clear stripe I think is a really good balance between, really helps the alignment not just on putting but also off the tee. So I think that for me is I'm not going to change.
So you of the 4 that I've selected, hand-picked for you, you're going to pick the same ball you've been using?
I'm going to carry on with what I've got, because I haven't seen anything today where I think, wowee, that's giving me something that I've really been missing. I think it's been eye-opening how much additional spin is coming off that Bridgestone and the little bit of extra distance you're getting from that Pro V1. But at the end of the day, it's kind of marginal gains.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, cool. Fair enough.
But that was really good, thank you.
No. It's very interesting to hit them all back to back, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
Amazing that you hit 1,000 golf shots to get us down to those 4.
Yeah, just had to sort of go see a physio quite regularly during that period, but that's good. So if you've made it this far to the end, thanks a lot for watching. We really appreciate it. If you could please like and subscribe if you don't already, that really helps push this video to more people so we can do more cool stuff like this in the future.